On your call, Madam President.
We can start. Thank you.
Trenton City Council special meeting Wednesday, September 10th, 2025 is now called to order. Please stand and salute the flag.
I pledge allegiance
Allegiance to the
to
flag
the United States of America and to the republic
for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Adequate notice of this meeting has been given in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act pursuant to Public Laws 1975, Chapter 231. This agenda is complete to the extent known and was sent to the Trenton Times, Trentonian newspapers, posted on the first floor bulletin board in the City Hall, filed in the City Clerk's office, and posted on the City of Trenton website. Formal action will be taken. Roll call. Vice President Edwards.
Present.
Councilwoman Feliciano.
Yes. Present.
Councilwoman Figueroa Kettenberg.
Present.
Councilwoman Frisbee. For the record, I will check to see if Councilwoman Frisbee has excused herself from this meeting this evening.
She should be here. I don't know if she's en route.
Okay, we expect her and expect that she's en route. Councilman Harrison.
Present.
Councilwoman Williams.
Present y presente.
Council President Gonzalez.
Presente.
Myself, Brandon Garcia, Municipal Clerk, present. Mr. Edward Kaloji, Legislative Counsel. And in for West Bridges City Attorney is Palmer Richardson.
Please.
Thank you. And Madam President, if you'd like at this time, I'll read the invocation,
Yes, please.
which I believe is not here.
Okay.
Oh, Lord. Nope, it's not. Almighty God, who holds the fate of man and nation, we most humbly beseech thee to bless this, our city, these deliberations, and these,
Thy servants.
say again,
Thy servants.
our servants, that we may serve with
Amen.
goodwill and
To the best of our abilities.
to the best
Amen.
of our ability. Amen. Thank you. Deeply apologize for that not being here. Minor oversight. Thank you. Presentations at this time, Madam President. We have our hotel presentations on for this agenda. And Madam President, if you'll indulge me for a moment, we have resolutions to amend the budget
Yes.
on this agenda as well. If you'd like to entertain a motion to adjust the agenda this evening to handle those matters first, that is, I'll leave that to you.
Yes, may I have a motion to adjust the agenda to allow the resolutions to go forward so we can allow BA Director Richardson to come forward?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Roll call. Vice President Edwards.
Yes.
Councilwoman Feliciano.
Yes.
Councilwoman Figueroa Kettenberg.
Yes.
Councilman Harrison.
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams.
Yes.
Council President Gonzalez.
Yes.
Motion carried. And with that being the case, Madam President, if you want to ask for a motion to approve Resolution 25-345 to approve the calendar year 2025 municipal current fund budget amendments for the city of Trenton.
Yes, we do a motion before we speak on it, right? So may I have a motion to approve Resolution 25-345?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Council President.
Yes, Councilwoman Williams, and I believe BA Richardson wanted to come forward.
Thank you.
BA Richardson, if you don't mind, please explaining why we have the amended budget at this special meeting and the time frame that we needed to have it by.
Yes, good evening, Council President and council members. Yes, we are bringing these resolutions to this docket. We, as you might remember, we had to amend our budget based on the amount of transitional aid that the state confirmed for us. We received about $4.5 million less than we originally budgeted for, but we knew that might happen. So Now that we confirm the amount of transitional aid funds that the city will be receiving, and given that we went this morning before the local finance board to get approved the $12.6 million for the cap waiver application, we DCA considered that this is a significant amendment and that we should not be presenting this amendment along with the approval of the budget, which is scheduled to happen during the 16th meeting, the meeting on the 16th. So we decided to add this resolution with your approval so that we can meet that deadline that DCA imposed on us.
Thank you. Ms. Councilwoman Williams?
Thank you, BA. If you could go over, because we have 345 and 346, which I do have copies of. I don't have a copy of 344, but I have a digital copy. I'm assuming. So can you kind of highlight what the specific amendments are? Because it's not going to be an amendment for each of the items in this.
No, and I'm going to ask the assistant BA to go over those numbers with
Thank you.
Thanks.
Council President,
Councilwoman Feliciano?
thank you. So we had these amendments already were known by the administration prior to us meeting on tonight, right? And prior to our last special meeting that we had? Is that so?
Before this meeting, yes.
Okay. So my question is then, I mean, and I understand that this needs to be done, but I'm not sure why we just didn't hear this before tonight. Since they already had the information, and then to give time, I guess, for even public consumption to even hear what the changes are.
So to my understanding, it was because of the local finance board meeting that was scheduled for today, but BA Richardson.
Yes, as I explained earlier, we just went before the local finance board this morning at 10:30, and we would not be able to do this until we actually got the approval for the $12.6 million waiver.
Okay. Just wanted to hear you say it. Thank you.
My pleasure.
Madam President.
Council Vice President.
Considering the nature of these resolutions being amendments to our municipal budget, I feel as though that this should be done at a regular general meeting and not at a special meeting, because the general public barely even knows about this meeting. It was very short notice. And this meeting was specifically supposed to be for hotel presentations. I think that it would be more incumbent of us as representatives of the public to make sure this happens when the public is present to hear it and not at a special meeting. I understand that approvals were just done at the local finance board this morning. However, I don't feel like it's fair to blitz this. Like, can this go on the September 16th meeting and then possibly do a presentation of the new budget during that meeting as well? And then the following meeting, we can approve the budget. That way the public is included every step of the way.
Madam President, may I?
Yes, Ms. Terry.
Madam Vice President, this is the introduction of the amendment. There will be a public
Thank you.
hearing on this amendment on the 16th. And then assuming council approves, then after that public hearing, we would ask for adoption of the budget. So there will be a public hearing. And in terms of timing, the reason we're doing this tonight is that because DCA has determined this to be a substantial amendment, we require 3 days minimum of advertisement between the introduction and the public hearing on the budget. In fact, to your point, Madam Vice President, exactly so that the public has the opportunity to be notified and can come and speak on it. And in order to send our tax bills out in time and collect our fourth quarter taxes, we have to adopt the budget within September. So this allows us to advertise for the public hearing on the 16th and then close the public hearing, and should council feel so inclined, adopt the budget as amended on the 16th.
Yeah, and Mr. Garcia, just really quickly, this, both of these items were advertised when we advertised a special meeting, correct?
Correct. Both items were included on the special meeting advertisement.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just want to
Mhm.
make sure. Councilwoman Figueroa Kettner.
Yes, thank you. My concerns are, were you done? Okay. My concerns are, one, us as a council really haven't had enough time to review this or review the changes in time for this meeting to approve of this resolution at the time. And two, I know that B.A. Richardson did say that, we got lesser funds than we had anticipated from the state. And I'd like to hear why, one, we got lesser funds than anticipated and how we anticipated that. I'd really like an answer to that. But further, again, we're just being presented with this resolution to be voted on tonight. And, we really haven't had enough time to review the budget and review exactly what these numbers mean.
Thank you.
Council President,
PA.
when we submitted our application for transitional aid back in March 5th, we basically requested from the state $45 million based on the budget that we have worked. July 5th, the governor sent a communication through the Division of Local Government Services that you are all aware of, that the city was approved by $40.5 million. And so then we needed to submit an amended budget to accommodate the fact that we were getting $4.5 million less than what we requested. But we actually were mandated by the state to submit a budget with assumptions. I don't know if you remember that several of you asked me the same questions here in this room, why we were not submitting the budget, introducing the budget, because we didn't want to submit a budget with assumptions. Usually the city will introduce the budget once DCA has confirmed what is the amount of transitional aid. This year and moving forward, we will submit a budget with assumptions because the state is requiring that we introduce the budget on time. And so this will happen in the future again, that we will present a budget with assumptions, and once the governor decide how much money the city is getting in transitional aid and capital city aid, we will come back to you with an amended budget. So this is not the only instance that this will happen. It will happen in the future again.
Thank you, BA. And
Thanks.
to the point of assumptions, I'm sorry, I just wanted to say, like, and maybe I misinterpreted, but it didn't feel like an assumption that we were told that we were getting this money this year from the governor. It was an assumption. It was like, we were getting this year. And like I said, maybe that's my misinterpretation, but that's what I was under the impression, that that's what we were getting. And, now it's something.
Yes, no, that was a misinterpretation, because when we introduced the budget, we really tried to make it really clear that that could change based on the verification, the confirmation from the governor's office of how much money we will be getting in transitional aid, which happens when the state approves their budget on June 30th or something like that.
Okay. Wait,
At some point, I'm happy with my colleagues and asking questions.
But again, I just want to clarify that we are not approving the budget. We are simply introducing the amendments to the budget, which is also a regular step that we always follow.
Madam President.
CVP, and then
Thank
Councilman
you.
Williams.
So just to follow up to clarify so that I'm on the same page, right? So this isn't approving the amendments. This is approving, not in the final form, obviously. since we've introduced it before this amendments, and then now we have the amendments coming September 16th. So this is saying we're approving you to introduce the new budget. with-
Correct.
All right. I on the same page now.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. No further questions.
Councilwoman Williams and then Councilwoman Feliciano.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. I would still like to have Mr. Cherry be able to explain to highlight the actual change in amendments here.
Of course.
Before us.
Thank you, Councilwoman.
Thank you.
There are broadly two categories of amendments that you're going to see. There are quite a number, so rather than going through each one, I'll just talk about the categories. But broadly, there are two categories. Amendments because of that reduction or because of other changes in the budget. And then you're going to see in the second section, $12.6 million of amendments that were moving money that was inside of the cap to outside of the cap. So you're going to see some substantial decreases. For example, in police salary and wage, if you look in the first section, it appears that the reduction in salary and wage was approximately $13 million, from about 40 million to about 27 million. However, if you look in the second section, that reduction was just the reduction to the inside the cap. And you're going to see about $11.8 million that was moved outside of the cap. So the actual reduction was about $1 million in overtime only. And that reduction was, of course, commensurate with that reduction in requested aid. So throughout that first section, you're going to see the moves to the inside the cap amount. And then that second section shows you the various line items that were moved outside of the cap pursuant to the waiver that we received this morning at Local Finance Board. Does that answer your
Yeah,
question?
that helps. I just, going forward, and I know there'll be a lot of things going forward, I would like to ask that we always get an explanation attached to this, because that's really, and I to defend, not that my colleagues do defending in any way, they don't, but it isn't fair to just send this with the changes and not give us even a reminder of the assumption, but also an explanation of this, because we want to make an informed vote, but also the public does deserve to understand, yeah, they didn't need to go to Harvard to get an MBA to be able to know what's going on with their government budget. And that would just be more transparent, more explanatory. I think that would help all of us.
Of course.
Thank you.
Councilwoman Feliciano.
Thank you, Council President. So I had asked previously the question if it was legal or right that if the council, because of how this budget goes and our reviewing process and everything, when we all meet and talk about it, if the council, once the administration prepares their budget for that, what they want to submit to the DCA, if the council could then be in session to hear what that anticipated budget is, so that if there were any changes that we would want to suggest or what have you, or questions, we could get that out the way before it even goes to DCA. So then when those things are changed, if they are changed, then we have a grasp or understanding of what's happening. Because we have these hearings, after the fact, some may assume because DCA said, oh, okay, it's okay. Maybe they said it was okay. Maybe they didn't. They're going to go along with it, when actually we can suggest or require changes along the way as well as the council. So, Mr. Kaloji, is it an issue for the council, if that was the council's will, to, once the administration prepares their initial budget, for us to want to meet to hear what that is before it's submitted to DCA, or does it have to go to DCA first and then it comes to the council?
To be honest, Councilwoman Feliciano, what you're raising is a procedural issue that's a combination of the local budget law and the Faulkner Act. I'm going to have to take a look at the statutes and get back to you.
Madam President,
Yes.
if I may,
Mr. Sherry.
Councilwoman, the introduced budget, so what we submit in March, we are required to receive DCA approval before we present that to you.
Okay.
However, once the introduction is made, that is when we have those
Right.
time for those hearings. And just to clarify, this budget, this amendment was, is pursuant to those hearings we had with the council members. So this matches the changes that we made then.
Okay.
And that is why we were forced to have those, as you recall, we were forced to have those meetings so late in the cycle because we needed to wait for DCA to give us that final number.
Right.
Um,
No, I agree with that, with the hearings happening after, if we have to do it that way, after DCA gives a number, anything before that, it would just be, it wouldn't make sense. But I just wanted to know if we could be a part of or see beforehand, just to have an understanding, so that if changes were made, then we would understand the changes as they had occurred, rather than getting it like this. Okay.
And to be clear, it is possible for council to suggest or demand amendments after the public hearing on the 16th. That is council's prerogative.
Right.
This is just us, unfortunately, time crunched. And so council's aware, this hearing with the local finance board this morning was the first available hearing since we heard from the state what our number was. We had missed the deadline for the August local finance board meeting. So they meet once a month. So the first time we were able to get an application forward, as we came to you at the last council meeting requesting permission to submit that application. And this was the first time we were able to get on their docket. So unfortunately, it just is, I agree, a very unfortunate timing and kind of condenses all of us on our schedule.
Right. Okay, I do agree though with Councilwoman Williams. You know, I will ask you 50 million questions.
Sure, of course.
We need explanations to why these changes and everything are gonna happen. So it would help, especially like given on a night like tonight, you would have that where we could have read it ahead of time, just to kind of get a flavor of what was going on. So thank you, Council President.
Council President?
Councilwoman Williams.
Thank you. Just in case, and I know this is actually a typo, but on the last page of at least 345 and 346, it says that the amendments will be published in the Trenton Times in the issue of September 12th, 2025. Are we not also advertising in the Trentonian? Because I did physical paper, not, I know we're all moving to a digital world with newspapers, but it's more well-read than the Trenton Times, which is only available on NJ.com.
I can answer that. I'm sorry. We would, as the clerk, I advertise in both papers.
Okay, that's what I figured.
So
Maybe
yeah,
there was
no,
a
we,
boycott.
the Trentonian comes in
Yeah.
very handy in time crunches like this.
Yeah.
We're typically able to get something into the newspaper there within a day, as opposed to the lead time of the Times, which is now online anyway.
Mhm.
So we're wondering why, but we still have quite a lead time with the Times. So yes, we use them both,
Okay, thank you very much. sir.
especially in budget matters.
I appreciate that. Thanks, ma'am.
Thank you. Anyone else? Mr. Garcia, we can move on.
Okay, Madam President, with that being said, then, for resolution 23-345, I believe we had a motion, a second. We're at the vote.
Yes.
Understood. So, vote to pass, Vice President Edwards.
Oh, yes.
Councilwoman Feliciano.
Yes.
Councilwoman Figueroa Kettenberg.
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee.
Yes.
Councilman Harrison.
Yes. Yes.
Councilwoman Williams.
Yes?
Council President Gonzalez.
Yes.
Motion carried. Moving on to resolution 25-346 to approve the calendar year 2025 municipal utility amendments for the city of Trenton.
May we have a motion to approve?
Second.
Roll call, Vice President Edwards.
Yes.
Councilwoman Feliciano. Councilwoman Figueroa Kettenberg.
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee,
Yes.
Councilman Harrison,
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams,
Yes.
Council President Gonzalez.
Yes.
Motion carried. And now, Madam President, that brings us to resolution to go into executive session this evening for the purposes of contract negotiations. I'll defer to the solicitors if anybody has anything additional for going into executive at this time. I don't believe there is. It's Resolution 25-344, authorizing the City Council of the City of Trenton to hold an executive session which excludes the public.
May we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second,
Roll call, Vice President Edwards,
yes.
Councilwoman Feliciano, Councilwoman Figueroa Kettenberg,
Yes.
Councilwoman Frisbee,
Yes.
Councilman Harrison,
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams,
Yes.
Council President Gonzalez.
Yes.
Motion carried. Thank you. And at this time, Madam President, I'm sorry, yes, we'll go into executive session. I do not believe we anticipate a vote coming out of executive session to the public. Shall we? Let's go. How many we got? 1, 2, 3,
Councilwoman Frisbee's right here.
4. That's our half plus 1. Beautiful. I'll wait till she gets settled. I need a motion to come out of executive session,
I have a
please.
motion. Thanks.
Second.
Okay, that was moved by.
Frisbee,
Thank you. And it was
Ha-
second by.
Harrison,
Much appreciated. Thank you. Roll call, Vice President Edward. Oh, no, excuse me. I am at Councilwoman Frisbee,
Yes.
Councilman Harrison,
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams,
Yes.
Council President Gonzalez.
yes.
Motion carried. Thank you. And Madam President, at this time, we've reached the point of public comment. If I could have the public comment clipboard, please. I have the public comment clipboard, apparently.
Frisbee.
Public comment will be 5 minutes for each individual. You may address any item that you wish. The first individual listed for public comment is Caroline Clark. We need a timer.
Bye.
All right.
Good evening, council,
Good evening.
and the two Trentonians that are still here. So, Caroline Clark, Riverside Drive, Trenton, New Jersey. Okay. So I'm actually here to talk about the residency law. So there was a first reading that happened at the last meeting, and then there were some comments from council members. So I'm here to once again urge council to not adopt the state's residency requirement law. It was clear to me that some council members had not read or did not understand Trenton's residency statute. Our statute does more than the state's statute. The only reason to adopt the state statute is to deprioritize Trentonians. So I would not understand why council would think about deprioritizing Trentonians when putting residents from other townships at the same hiring levels as Trentonians. That would work against you because it's only Trentonians that can put you in these seats. So implicitly, Trentonians should be prioritized in your decisions and discussions. So the moment that we hear Trenton Waterworks and DEP recommending us to do something, I would have hoped that all our bells would have gone on, given the context that we have been in over the last couple of months. And once we hear that, we need to start asking critical questions like, why is this residency issue coming up now? The law has been in effect since I think at least 2019. So why are they coming to you with it now in the context of regionalization? Essentially, deprioritizing Trenton, adopting the state's mandate, is actually regionalizing our jobs. It is a first step towards regionalization. And therefore, we ought to reject it on its face. Councilwoman Feliciano is not here, but I would like to thank her for asking the hard questions last time. Councilwoman Frisbee, again, I'd like to also thank you for rejecting that notion outright. There is no need for us to do it. Trenton's ordinance complies with the state's mandate. The state's mandate merely says that if a water utility serves other townships, we can hire or we shall hire. Well, our own ordinance says that we can. It says Trentonians first, county second. All the townships that we serve are in the county. So those people are already covered. So there's no reason to take the state's mandate over ours, which is why Mr. Beecham said it was a recommendation. But it is a recommendation that is to the detriment of Trentonians. And it's the state's test to test your appetite for regionalization. And in my opinion, only two of you took a firm position against that move. And so I'm only going to urge the rest of you to go read those two laws, see that we don't need the states, and that the state's mandate deprioritizes Trenton and therefore is adverse to the interest of Trentonians. Thank you.
Thank you.
Carl McCall. Just calling just in case. Robin Vaughn.
Yes, Robin Vaughn, 1100 Stuyvesant Avenue. Thank you, Council President Gonzalez and the rest of the council for allowing me to speak. And I just want to concur with my fellow resident, Ms. Clark, on the residency law. And I just want to add that, of course, Trentonians should be prioritized. And if you choose to vote, I think you should take a stronger stance and really advocate for the people who put you in those seats, right? These individuals are facing the highest unemployment rates in the state of New Jersey, the highest unemployment across Mercer County. And I would suggest that if Trenton has to amend its residency law because it's part of the utility, a municipality that has a utility, then why don't you all demand through resolution as a collective that all the townships that are part of the service area to amend their residency law of the same to hire Trentonians, to hire Trentonians in Hamilton, to hire Trentonians in Lawrence, right? Councilwoman Williams, right? So if you believe that they can come here and get high salaries, then why aren't they hiring us? Why don't they amend their residency law? Since we're all part of the same water system, right? Regionalization should go two ways, a two-way street, not just one way. Whereas we're giving up all our assets and revenues and they get everything for nothing from an underserved and already under-resourced city. So it's time for you all to advocate and fight for Trenton, fight for Trentonians. Every township has put up a resolution fighting for their residents while you guys remain silent. Silence, as Martin Luther King Jr. said, is complicity. So you're for it. If you're not doing anything about it, you're not saying anything about it, then you're for it. But that has yet to be seen. But you trust me, and when I tell you, you stand against Trenton, we are going to stand against you. Wait for it. And I will just land there. And I guess I'll get an opportunity to speak about the redevelopment project. Stand against Trenton. Trentonians will clap back.
Thank you, Ms. Vaughn. Civic comment, anyone have anything to say? Oh, thanks. Thank you. All right, Mr. Garza, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Oh, okay. Roll call. Councilwoman Frisbee.
Yes.
Councilman Harrison.
Yes.
Councilwoman Williams.
Yes?
Council President Gonzalez.
Yes.
Motion carried, meeting adjourned.
Thank you.